Leah McLennan with that report. Sticking with energy, and like them or not, rooftop solar panels are now in every street, and they continue changing the way electricity is bought, sold and generated in this state. Next month, the Essential Services Commission will decide how much those households with panels will be paid for the excess power they generate. But as Mike Sexton reports, there is much debate over the future of subsidies and tariffs.
According to the prophets of doom, this isn't something that's supposed to be happening. A successful mass production manufacturing plant in Adelaide's north that's been created without government money.
We've got a quite large backlog, between 6,000 and 8,000 panels out there sold. So we've ramped up production just recently, so now we're doing 500 panels a week and looking to put in a Saturday shift as well.
In a country where $50 million worth of solar panels are sold every month, this is the only factory in Australia making them. It's Tindo at Technology Park, and one of its creators, Richard Inwood, says the business is based on quality and innovation, which is why each panel is fitted with its own inverter.
It is the biggest leap we've had in solar panels in the last 20 or 30 years. The vast majority of panels installed in this country are your traditional DC system where there's an inverter on a wall. With an AC microinverter system, there is no box on a wall. You've got lots of little boxes on the back of every panel.
In round figures, 1 in every 5 households in South Australia has a mini power station sitting on the roof. And as a result, it's changing the economics of electricity in this state.
I try and put all of my power into the grid when I can, because I'm receiving the feed-in tariff.
By having a solar array installed, Simon Jones sees himself as part of the greenhouse solution. Every watt of power his panels produce is one less needed from a coal or gas generation plant.
Solar in South Australia is about 4% of the state's production, and we could easily ramp that up to 20%.
If the uptake of solar was sparked by individuals' response to climate change, then it was fanned by feed-in tariffs, which is where households are paid for excess power produced. The first amount under the Rand government was 44 cents per kilowatt hour. As the price of solar panels has fallen, so has the FIT. It's now down to 9.8 cents, and the Essential Services Commission will likely reduce that to 7.6 cents next year.
If we're having someone putting cold hard cash into their own mini power station on their roof with energy that is green, clean, going back into the grid, that should be valued appropriately.
But there are two arguments about the impact of solar. Although the company that delivers electricity, SA Power Networks, declined to be interviewed, it estimates by 2028, when the original FIT scheme expires, it will have cost $1.65 billion. Money it says is recovered from all customers. Power retailers argue for deregulation, so rather than having a mandatory payment for excess solar power, the companies would compete for business, like in New South Wales, a system Simon Jones says disadvantages households.
If we moved over to the New South Wales system, where essentially each single home is supposed to go out and try and haggle with big power companies to get some money back for the power they're putting into the grid, I don't think that's a very equitable system at all.
The power retailers, through their peak body, declined to be interviewed, but industry figures show solar panels have been eating into one of the most lucrative parts of their business. Traditionally, when the summer sun bites, the demand for electricity for air conditioners creates a price spike. But the past 2 years, the cumulative effect of solar panels has reduced that demand.
That spike is dropped, and now those spikes are where the electricity is very expensive, and if we can reduce those spikes, the price for electricity across the grid for everybody is lowered, and that's a good thing.
Although subsidies have been the mechanism of choice for governments in driving household renewable energy, Richard Inwood believes the focus should now be turning to innovation because it potentially brings with it new industries. Tindo is investing in research at Flinders University to explore how to fit battery storage systems into its next generation of panels. It isn't the only project underway.
This is one of the solar cells that our students and researchers are manufacturing here at Flinders University. It's made by a very simple lamination process, so it's flexible, and it has the potential to go into for windows in houses and other applications.
Flinders has recently joined forces with Flinders University and UniSA to share information on renewable energy projects, with an eye on the commercial applications of their research.
Collectively, the three South Australian universities have a lot of capability in this area, and so by working together we can compete better on a world stage, such that we are able to be at the forefront of a range of technologies and be able to deliver better benefits back to South Australia, and hopefully get to the point where the technology we're developing can be manufactured in South Australia to generate electricity for South Australians.
It's something Richard Inwood believes could happen. This week his company exported its first order, a modest 4 panels, to India. They're a trial kit to prove to a potential buyer that they work. He says if South Australia can parlay its attraction to solar energy into leading technology, the world is interested.
The support for us to expand multiple times the size of this factory is enormous. India has budgeted about $34 billion for PV, for solar panels, for the next 10 years. Saudi Arabia about $109 billion, and that's without our local countries, Thailand, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, etc. We're talking to all of them.
Mark Sexton with that story.